Well, and you also know drum parts. I've worked with you enough over the years
Yeah.
that you know how to talk to a drummer, and you kind of know how to spit out parts that you want to hear.
You gotta talk slowly, that's the main thing. Do it again.
Recently, I got to do a session with a longtime friend and mentor of mine, Scott Francisco, who some of you might notice from the good old FullOnDrums days. Well, Scott's an amazing engineer and composer, and he was scoring a short film, and since the instrumentation was largely organic, real players, he asked if we could do the recording over here at the studio so he could get everybody together in one room. And we decided to film the process as well. So we're gonna start off with a quick trip over to Scott's studio to get a look into his process of writing the score as well as prepping for this session, and then we're gonna hop back over here to the studio to record everything. All right, we are here at Scott's now to prep for the session. What's happening, Scott?
Welcome, welcome.
What are we working on today?
Today we're working on a film called The Laughing Heart. My buddy John Myrick directed. He's one of the producers on Sweet Tooth. We worked together for a long time on many shows. So I'm gonna knock out all the tunes, and gotta have it done by 4th of July.
And then we're gonna go track everything over at my place.
We're gonna go to your place, get some tracking done. Yeah.
So
I've already recorded some guitars and stuff. So now it's just a matter of replacing all the remaining fake stuff with the real stuff, and we're all set.
when you get something and you're working with the director, how does that work?
Well, for example, on this one, they sent me an early cut before they had locked picture, and I basically put together a big Spotify playlist of like stuff that kind of felt good. So we traded Spotify playlists back and forth for a while, and then they picked some ones they really liked. So then I took those and I put them in fader and took the vocals out so I could sort of use them as score in the temp cut. The music's a big deal in this particular piece because there's no dialogue. It's all voiceover. There's some sound effects and music, and that's it. There's nobody talks on camera.
And this is a short film.
Yeah, it's like 8.5 minutes.
There's gonna be music like the whole time.
Pretty much wall-to-wall music.
Yeah.
They had some stuff to cut to, and that also gave us sort of a basis for tempos. I kind of stuck to the tempos of what the temp music was doing because that's what they cut to. Then when they locked the picture, and they, because like the first cut I got, it was like 10 minutes. Got it down to like 8.5. Then once I got the lock picture, then I like mapped out my tempos, and I started really writing.
But at that point, you already know what the vibe is going to be, because that's the whole point of going back and forth with all the Spotify playlists and putting that in was to find that right vibe,
figuring out the vibe, yeah.
You've locked the picture in, you've done your temp music, you have an overall idea of the vibe. You made a conscious decision here to make this very real. So we have, which is our next step, is you're coming over to my place, we're going to put all real musicians.
Correct, because this piece is all, the one adjective that John, the director, gave me was breezy. That was the one adjective he gave me. It's set in Santa Barbara, and they wanted that kind of like breezy, like California vibe, like the Laurel Canyon thing, and that's like that's where we started with the temp music. So I knew it had to have that kind of thing, and I knew it was going to be much more about, the sort of the sonic aspect of it and the vibe kind of aspect of it, as opposed to like the compositional part of it. Like the compositional part of it's pretty straight ahead.
Right.
The demos were the hardest thing to do because I had to really capture the vibe right on the demos. So the demos were pretty elaborate. Like I played all the guitar for real. I hand played all the drums in. I played bass on everything just to make sure I got the vibe right. Still demos, but it was important to very clearly convey the vibe of what I was doing.
Right.
To John and make sure he got what I was trying to do. So now we're at this phase where we're just replacing all of my crappy playing or fake stuff with guys who can really play, and off we go.
Okay, so now you're prepping for the real session.
Yeah.
You've got normal crew. You've got Tyler on drums.
Tyler Weldon on drums. Martin Torres on bass. Dr. Gary Pritchard on the keys. Mark Wien's gonna play some guitar. I'll probably keep some of my guitars too. There's a little bit of percussion. I'll probably just do that myself. So now it's just a matter of going through and replacing all the fake stuff and my bad stuff with the real stuff. Generally what I do in a situation like this, because there's three cues and they're pretty straightforward. So instead of like the quick and dirty way to do this, I'll show you how I do this, is with the charts, I'll go into score editor. That's Mark's guitar part. So that's basically the MIDI of what I play. Like this particular guitar part I just did because it was an acoustic part, so I just played it in with a sample. So I have the MIDI, I just like super duper quantized it so there's no weird like 30-second notes or anything.
Right.
And basically I just spit out this chart, just how it is, and then I'll take those charts that I have right here, and then I'll just hand write in any other information I need. So I like hand wrote in, because there's some bits where it's just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. So I just wrote the chords in, rehearsal numbers so we can, navigate easily, and articulations and dynamics and stuff.
So the charts are just the basic info.
Yeah.
And then you do all the details handwritten on paper because it's just faster that way,
Took me like
right?
10 minutes, yeah.
Right.
Because I print it out and then I play it down and I write stuff in as it goes, anything that's relevant as it goes, and put in some rehearsal numbers and bam. Here's what I'm bringing to the session. I already made a session.
Okay,
so this
perfect.
Is like
Let's start with that.
Yeah, this is all the tracks. I've just run off all the tracks as audio. So this is what we're recording to. So fake 12-string. And that's the real picture I'm running to. So yeah, that's sample 12-string, me playing bass, sample drums.
And that's what we'll work to.
Yeah, that's what we're working to.
Well, we got everything ready, so now I'm excited to go do the session.
Yeah, and yeah, it'll sound awesome, I'm sure.
All right, now we'll see you back over at the studio.
On the bass drum sound. Sorry, Scott. Scott said no funk. Scott said no jazz and no funk today.
Okay, today's setup, obviously console, we'll get back to that. So we have everyone in their space. We have a couple places for Martin right there. We do an upright here in the ISO booth with the Mini K87, and Martin has a really good sounding DI on this as well. And this was on one of the pieces. Martin's other station, the electric station, is out here in the live tracking room actually. Gary's over here, and this is cool. We're actually taking audio off this, but we also have MIDI in case Scott wants to change any of the sounds later, which works really well. And then Tyler's spot. And we have a couple different kick drums depending on what we've been recording. The last thing we did with this awesome sounding little 18-inch kick sounded great. And that's pretty much the only thing that's changed on the kit. And then it's either sticks or brushes depending. And then all of that comes in here. There's Scott, who's in charge. And everything's coming in. Today's mic post.
Today I mic post.
And this setup's working really well. Everything is sounding really, really good.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, let's try that one. Okay, here we go. So Gary, that's like full on like Mike Post does Layla. Like,
So you want more? Okay.
no, not more, just but that's the vibe. Like it's,
Okay,
it's kind of like it is supposed to feel like the Layla piano outro with like the
Okay.
Mike Post kind of like
Right, with the second.
70s LA vibe. Should all feel in general like kind of peppy but relaxed, you know, like not.
Okay, happy but relaxed.
That's the Afro Light too?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
I'm gonna get these.
Holy so faucet.
The A section stuff, it's like, gotta play that exactly as written, because it's gonna be doubling, the guitar is gonna be doing the exact same thing, and it's sort of important that they double each other just right. So we'll just start right on 21,
Okay.
and come in like no fill, just right on 21,
Right on.
okay? And then, yeah. So this shit, like,
So we're starting here.
yeah. There's
Okay.
4 new, because there's a tempo change, so there's new clicks in the new tempo into 22.
Okay.
Scott, did you get that? You said click for 2 and then he comes in?
Yeah.
Okay. So, is that a wrap?
That's a wrap.
We got everything?
I think so.
It's
Painless.
been a good day. That was easy.
Yeah.
Not even dark yet.
Well, I mean, to be fair, days are pretty long
Come
now.
and just redo all my drums.
Russ Kunkel.
Let's go.
Yeah, we just need the demos done, you know?
Now Russ knows what to do.
You really laid down the foundation for old Russ.
Save some time.
We just finished. How'd it go?
Pretty good. We got like, that's probably about 6 minutes of music knocked out in, you know, an afternoon. Not bad. Real guys. That was the big thing with this, with all this stuff, is it was all about, you know, having real guys and having, you know, getting the vibe just right. You know, compositionally it's pretty simple, but it's got to kind of just be just right. So that was the big thing. So now that the real guys are on there, I can relax.
Yeah. Yeah, we did spend a little time swapping out some drums and trying some different things with the bass.
Yeah, it's getting the sonic feel right, and once we got that, like the playing wise, it was a piece of cake. The guys are, you know, no joke, so they can nail it. You know, a couple of takes. It was like a Clint Eastwood movie. You know, lots of setup and then 2 takes and then on to the next thing. So you know, that's how that works. But you know, now I just got to go home and like recut all my bad guitar playing, and we'll be all set.
Sweet. Can't wait to hear the finished product.
Yeah,
Actually see it.
I know. That'll be cool.